Hi there, it's Rachel from scrappinandhappy.blogspot.com with another crafty video. I'm really excited about today's project because this project is again a project where I'm using my stash. I'm working within the Valentine's Day theme, and this time I'm using a cut file that works with Design Studio from the very talented Jen C. She has a list of files and has tons of them on her blog at jenbrainthings.blogspot.com. And there's tons of them. So the project that we're going to be making today is this adorable little 3D mailbox. And I thought it would work perfectly for the Valentine's Day project that I'm working on. So this is the one that I created this past week with her file. And then I wanted to make sure I got permission before I went ahead and created this video with her cut file. So once we sorted out that it was okay for me to do this video showing how I put this box together, I thought I would do a video for all of you, and we'll get started. So the cut file that you get, she does have a donation box, and believe it or not, she only charges $1 for each particular cut file. And so on her blog, when you get there, if you go to the page that says files, there's just some information about her files. There's a donate button, and then she gets back to you within 72 hours according to her blog, but for me it was actually even sooner when I happened to do that. So very convenient and easy to do. So the cut file that she creates, you need to use Design Studio, although she has some ones that are available for Gypsy too, and those are marked on there. So this particular one is a Design Studio's cut file that uses the Cricut cartridge George. So you need to have George in there to be able to create your box. Now the cut file itself has 3 separate tabs. The first tab is the box itself. The second file is just the score lines, and then the third tab is the top box of itself. Now for scoring, she recommended to me when we were talking back and forth about doing this video, she asked me, or said to me, that what you could do is, if you use the score lines, you can turn an old blade upside down in your Cricut, and then it will score the lines for you. However, I just really like using my Scorepel or my Martha Stewart scoreboard, so that's what I'm going to use today, because I just don't, although I'm sure it works perfectly, I'm just not prepared to take a chance, and I don't have a lot of old blades, so I haven't gone ahead and done that. So what I've done for this box, to make it so that it's sturdy and it could hold maybe treats or goodies or something in it, I've actually gone ahead and cut it out 3 separate times. 2 on just plain white cardstock, and the third one on pattern paper. So what I do to put this together is I am going to cover everything with glue stick. So that we can get everything sealed down really well. And this is acid-free glue, although for a project like this, being that it's not something that's going to be going into an archival album, you're okay with just using whatever glue you have. I'll put a little bit more up here. I'm going to have to clean my desk after this before I continue on. Okay, so I'm going to line everything up. And again, this is just to add sturdiness so that I could add treats in it. You don't have to do this. You could just create the file like you want. But I think I'm going to put some kisses or something in it, so I don't want to chance this to collapse on me. So then the next layer is the pattern paper. So I'm going to just go ahead and do the same thing here. And again, line everything up. So that everything lines up perfectly. Like so. Okay, so then I'm just going to let that dry, and then we'll come back and do the scoring. So while I'm waiting for the other piece to dry, I thought I would go ahead and do the strap closure for the mailbox. So this one I don't need as thick because I want it to be able to have some bend to it. So I'm just going to do the one layer of cardstock with the one layer of patterned paper. Now this patterned paper is American Crafts, and it's actually not designed for Valentine's Day, but being that it's pink and white, it does really give that girly look to it. So while I'm waiting for that other piece to dry, what I thought I would do is I would go ahead and ink the edges, because I like all my projects to have a distressed look to them. So I'll just go ahead and do that. And let's check to see if that other piece is dry. Yeah, it looks like it's ready to dry. So on the file, the score lines are here, here, and here, as well as this little tab here. So what I'm going to just do is I'm going to use my bone folder here, and I'm going to line up and I'm going to score. Now I must run it through a couple times to really get that nice crisp fold. Okay, then the next one is at this flap here, so I'm going to line everything up and then go along here. And again, because of the layers, I'm going to run it by 3 times and really fold it to get a nice crisp fold. Okay, and then the last one is this one here, this way. One's going vertical. And I'm going to again do 3 times. And that gives us a nice crisp box. Now I also need to do the tab. So again, I'm just lining it nicely up on my scoreboard and doing that 3 times to get through each layer of the paper. Fold it nice and push it down. Now if you use Jen C's suggestion of using that second tab for your score lines, you wouldn't have to do this step. Okay, and that's going to give you your nice shaped box. Now on her cut file, I noticed it didn't have the score lines for going this way. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to do that now. At each of the tabs for the box. So make sure it's nice and tight. And then the last one is this one right here. and then score. So if you use Gen C's method, as I was saying, this would come already scored once you cut. So the box is ready to now assemble. So going and doing all those methods really gives you, oops, I missed one more, darn it. And fold that up and run the bone folder along several times to get a nice crisp fold, and that's what really helps to put your box together. And then you can see you have these adorable little legs at the bottom. So the first thing that I do when assembling this is I use my glue gun. I find it holds everything together nicely. So what I'm going to do is put some glue just on the tab first. I like to do the tab. I find it easier to line everything up. So I'm just putting my glue gun on there, and I'm going to line everything up nicely and just hold it in place. Okay, then the next set is to do this inside flaps. So I think I did these ones first because then it gives a nice finish with the box on the outside. So I'm going to put this one down. I'm going to put the glue stick glue gun down, and then the first layer is like this, and then I'm going to poke like this just to get it nice, flat, and even looking. And then the next step is going to do one side of the layer, the flap, so use my glue gun again, and I'm not being shy at all with the glue. I'm using lots of glue here. And you see how that just gives a nice clean look. And then the other layer here. And sticking that down nicely. And there is our sturdy box. And because we have those 3 layers, you can really see that it really holds up nice. Okay, so there's our box. So what I've gone ahead and done, just to reinforce these stands a little bit more, is to take some lightweight chipboard. It's that paper that comes from the back of your paper packs, and so it's not really strong, but it has the white color on the one side. So what I've done is just cut it to size, and on each of the 4 corners I've put glue to stick this down. This one I didn't trim narrow enough. I'll just trim that now. And there we go. That makes it that just a little bit stronger and worthwhile. And so now you can see that this just fits in here like this. And now the next fun part comes decorating your box. So the next step that I'm going to do, just like we inked the edges of this particular lid, we're going to do the same thing with the box. And it will just hide up any of those spots where we had a little bit of white showing through because of the strategy that I used with using 3 layers to make it a sturdy box. So I'm just inking all the edges. side here. It's a little bit tricky. There. It's the best we're going to do. So there we go. There's the inked box. So now it's just time to come up with our decorated plan. Now the next stage of this box, next part of this video, is to decorate the outside of the box. So what I've done is I've taken some pink cardstock and I've used my deep edge Martha Stewart Heart border punch, and I'm just going to glue this down around. I have this folded nicely, and then I'm going to put the glue all along there like so, and just make sure it lines up nicely. Do the same thing again, fold it, and put glue back and forth along like so. And the next step, do it around the corner again. And last step here in the middle. Now, yes, I put the seam in the middle where you're going to see it a little bit, but I've made a die cut that's going to go on there. So this is the little bird die cut from Create a Critter cartridge, and I used all my scraps to cut this cute little bird out. It's one of my favorite on that cartridge, and I'm just going to use foam dots to pop it off the box. I want to just center it on the box just like that. Okay, you can see the border all the way around the bottom, and then from that border heart punch there was a whole bunch of cute little hearts. So I think maybe I don't need them. Maybe I don't need them. I don't want to make it look too busy. Then these are from the Doodle Charms cartridge, and they have a little heart on it. So I went over the heart with stickles, and then I'm just going along that line with my glitter pen, and I cut out about 10 of these little things. And I was thinking these would be cute if you were making this box for your sweetheart, or you're making it a little box for your grandkids or kids. You could put little love notes in the box, and along with some treats in there. So these are sized to fit perfectly into the mailbox. So this is what the finished note card looks like. Looks like a little envelope, and you can see the glitter lines there and the little heart. I was just looking over the box and feeling that it still needs a little bit more something at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this trim and wrap it around the bottom, and the seam's going to be at the back for this one. So actually I'm going to start at the back, and I'm going to bottom again. I'm running out of glue gun, so I'm going to fill that in quickly here. So I got to tuck that under there like so. So I probably won't be able to put glue under there. What I can do is put glue on this side here at the bottom. And this is doing a nice job of covering up the extra layers on the side there, which were a result of doing 3 layers of paper to give it that strength. And last little bit here. So I can trim that. There we go. That just gave it a little bit extra. And then the last thing is, because this is a Valentine's Day project, I wanted to do a little tag here that I could just put at the bottom that says Happy Valentine's Day. So this was cut out using the tags, bags, boxes, and more cartridge. I couldn't tell you the size because I use a whole bunch, cut about a whole bunch of these and then just have them in my stash for projects like this. So I'm just using a Studio G wooden Valentine's Day stamp that I've had for quite a few years. I'm going to just stamp that at the edge there. I am going to ink the edges. And that is what the tag looks like, and I'm just going to glue it right here so it's coming off the edge. So just put a little glue here and just stick it right in there. And there is the finished mailbox using the Gen C cut file. Really cute, adorable. It's going to hold love notes as well as some cute Valentine's Day Hershey Kisses. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of Let's Get Crafty, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.